Hi everybody. Everybody, I'm back. I'm back and today I'm going to show you all how to make very quick and simple smothered New York strip steaks. Now, with this recipe, feel free to use any type of steak that you would like to use. You also can use hamburger meat for this recipe. So today I have these beautiful New York strip steaks, and the first thing that I want to do is get olive oil rubbed all over my steaks. I've already did the bottom side. Okay, so I have this cold pressed Californian premium garlic crushed olive oil that we're going to use, and this is something that one of my subscribers sent me, and it's absolutely amazing. Okay, so make sure that your hands are impeccably clean and make sure that you wash your meat. When you bring your meats home, you always want to wash them. I've used a little bit of apple cider vinegar. I've used sea salt and cold water to wash my meat. Like I said, I've already rubbed the olive oil on the other side. Okay, so you just want to go in and rub this just like so. Even get the sides. This is going to make sure that you have a nice juicy steak, as well as help for your spices to adhere to your steak. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to wash my hands. Anytime that you are touching any raw meats, you always want to wash your hands because you don't want to transfer the bacteria to your spices. So I'm going to wash my hands. Get that out the way. And then I'm going to tell you all the ingredients that you will need for this dish. Okay? So, there's an ingredient that I don't have up here, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you all what you're going to need. You're going to need Montreal steak seasoning. That's the seasoning that I don't have up here, but I'll grab it out of my cabinet here in a second. I have a small white onion that I've just sliced up. Okay, you're going to need water for your gravy, or you can use like beef stock or even chicken broth. This here is better than bouillon beef base. This is what's going to give our gravy a really beefy taste. This right here, and you only need about a tablespoon. It's going to give an amazing flavor, and it's also going to give your gravy a beautiful color, okay? I wish that you all could smell this. This smells like love in a jar. Absolutely it does, okay? You've all that are familiar with me, you've seen me use the Better Than Bouillon chicken base. It's absolutely amazing. Okay, and we're going to need flour for our gravy as well. Like I said, the Montreal steak seasoning, garlic powder, kitchen bouquet. Kitchen bouquet does not have flavor, but it does have color, and it'll help for you to achieve that beautiful color as well that you want with your gravy. I have cracked black peppercorns, sea salt, and also you all that are familiar with me, you know I love to use boil in a bag rice. Anytime I get a chance to use it, I use it. All you have to do with it, if you want the perfect rice and you don't want to have to worry about if your rice is going to turn out mushy, you buy boil in a bag rice, and inside of this box comes 3 different bags. What you do is you boil you some water, you salt your water, you boil the bag for 11 minutes, and then you cut the bag open and pour it into whatever serving dish you have. And then you can just toss a little bit of parsley and butter in it. Turns out perfect every time. That's my choice of rice that we're using. So now let me grab my Montreal steak seasoning. We're going to season these up, and then I'll show you what we're going to do next. Okay, the first seasoning that I'm going to use is the sazon. And the sazon comes in a little packet just like this. You can find it in your international section of your grocery store. Most grocery stores carry this, and the dollar stores carry this as well. All right, this right here is going to give you an amazing flavor as well as a beautiful color. I like to use this on just about every meat that I can. All right, and we're just going to distribute it on the top and the bottom. Okay, you don't need too much because a little bit goes a long way. Like I said, we're going to put this on the bottom as well. All right, then let's put some sea salt. Don't get crazy with the sea salt, okay? Even though it's sea salt, you still want to be careful how much you use. If you need a salt substitute, then by all means, use a salt substitute, okay? just like this. Beautiful. Okay. And this here, I'll just set it in a bowl because we'll use it for the other side. All right. So now we want to put some nice cracked black pepper in there. You have to use the cracked black pepper. It's going to give you amazing taste. Black pepper has antioxidants in it, and it makes everything taste better, right? So now, one thing that I don't want you all to do, don't think for 1 second that you're going to take your meat out of the refrigerator and just start to fry it up right away. Because if you do that, what will happen is your meat will seize up and it will turn out dry. What you need to do is let that meat set out for a while on the counter for at least 15 to 20 minutes. Let the chill come off of it. That way when it goes into the pan, it doesn't go into shock, because we're not making any dry meats in this kitchen here, okay? Everything that comes out of this kitchen and your kitchen as well is you want it to be juicy. Let it sit out on the counter. Okay, so then let's go ahead and put some garlic powder. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to season anything that you have. Only seasoning you have to worry about is that salt. Other than that, season your food. Because if you don't season your food, it'll have no seasoning and it won't taste good. Really, and it's that simple. It won't taste good. All right, that's that beautiful Montreal steak seasoning. It makes your steaks taste amazing. It makes pork chops taste amazing, and even chicken and fish. Absolutely. And just because this says steak does not mean for 1 second that you can only use this spice on steak. Okay, you can use it for everything. And if you get the Montreal chicken seasoning, you can use it for everything as well. You know, and I'm telling you all that because a lot of people don't know that. You know, it says steak, so is it only for steaks? Nope, use it for everything you have. All right, just like this. Like I said, I've put olive oil on that side already. We're gonna go ahead and season this up. Just like so. I hope that you all are having a beautiful work day, a beautiful weekend as well. Is anybody doing anything special for the weekend? If you are, let me know in the comment section below. I love to hear what you all's plans are for the weekend. It's so interesting to see what other people do, you know, with their weekends and their days off and things like that. I like to hear those comments. This is Montreal steak seasoning. Okay, just a little bit. Oh, let me grab my sea salt that I already put here. Here we go. Just like this. Beautiful. My goodness, these are going to be amazing. And what I'm doing, so I'm doing all of my videos kind of early today. The first video that I've done was the stuffed mushrooms, and that was at 9 a.m. this morning. And now the time is 1 p.m. and I'm getting dinner done and out the way. Dinner done and out the way. So when everybody's ready to eat, dinner is all ready. All you have to do is heat it up. And that's the way I like to do things. Absolutely it is. I wouldn't do it any other way. I like to prep everything ahead of time. Yes, I do. All right, so then let's put some cracked black pepper on. Ooh, them bad boys looking good now. All right, I'd like to grab some parsley. The parsley's not going to give you flavor, but it's going to give a nice, beautiful color. And those of you that are familiar with me and my channel, you know that I love to use parsley on everything because I eat with my eyes first. I like for everything to look appealing. When it looks appealing to me, it tastes good too. And so I'm just pushing my spices on so that they can be nice and adhered to the steak. I'm going to let this steak set out for around about maybe 12 to 15 minutes before this goes in the pan. Because like I said earlier, I want that chill to come off of these steaks. We're going to have some juicy steaks here. Woo-wee, them bad boys. I can taste them now. Now let's meet me over at my stove. We're gonna get started frying these up. Okay, everybody, so you can see in the back, the pan of the boiling water is gonna be for my rice. I have a chicken bouillon cube. This is the soft kind made by Knorr. I'm just gonna use a half, okay? Just gonna use a half, throw it in there. It's gonna make for that plain rice to be beautiful. Your rice is gonna be flavorful now. It's gonna be amazing, okay? And now take the 2 bags, really quick and simple. Just throw it right in there. 11 minutes is done, it's perfect. You fluff it up, parsley and butter, and it's done. All right, so now I have some oil in my pan here. I want to make sure that this oil gets nice and hot because you cannot start out making a steak and your pan is not hot enough. So once this pan gets nice and hot, the temperature that I'm looking for, then we're going to put our 3 New York strip steaks in. Okay, let's go ahead, lay your steaks in. Be very gentle because you don't want to splatter yourself with this oil or anyone else that's in the kitchen with you. Okay, now this is just vegetable oil, okay? And you only need a little bit. A little bit will go a long way. Okay, now sometimes I like to put a little bit of butter in my pan as well. The butter will give flavor. But you don't want to use all butter because butter burns at a high temperature, okay? So I like to start off with the oil, and then towards the end of the cooking process, we can use a little bit of butter if you want to. All right, and you can see our rice is doing just fine. Ooh, the smell that's coming out of this kitchen is absolutely amazing. I cannot wait to show you all how quick and simple the gravy will be. And this right here, you have to get you some. You have to. It's roasted beef base, and it is so concentrated. All you need is a little bit for the most perfect gravy that you ever could imagine. Get you some. We're going to let these go for a little while. And once I start to see that, I see that golden brown ring towards the bottom of the steak, then we'll give them a flip. But right now, you're going to feel like you want to go in with your spatula or your fork and mess with them. Don't bother them. Let them get that nice, beautiful golden brown crust that we all love on our steaks. Be patient. Listen here, if you can have patience in that kitchen, patience is the key to good cooking. Trust me when I tell you this. Our steaks are cooking up just beautifully. I don't see the golden brown crust around the bottom, so I'm not going to bother them. Our rice is just about done. I'll be pouring that water off here in about 2 minutes. Now, there's one thing that I want you all to know about this recipe. You don't have to worry, because there's so many people that worry. Is my steak done, Gina? I like my steak well done. A lot of you all like your steaks well done. If you're that person, don't worry about if your steak is going to be well done. Reason why is because once we put this in our gravy, this steak is going to cook in your gravy and it's going to simmer for a nice amount of time. And by the time your steak simmers down in that beautiful gravy with those onions, trust me, it'll be done. Okay, so you don't have to worry about that. Like I said, all we're trying to achieve right now is that beautiful golden brown crust. Our rice perfectly done. Nice and fluffy. Now we're just going to stir in the butter and the parsley. You have nice fluffy rice every time. I know guys, seriously, I know I rant and rave over this rice, but I love it. I love it. This is the rice that I will always use. As long as they make it, I will always use it. All right, that part's done. Now, time to turn our steaks. I'm sure they have. Look at that. Woo-wee. That right there, oh my word, girl, you are something else in that kitchen. Woo-wee. Ooh, them bad boys looking good right now. Let me bring the camera down a little bit onto them so you all can get a good view. Look at that. That right there, beautiful. Ooh, that looks good. You better make you some. Okay, so 2 of our steaks are done. And you don't want to poke them. If you poke them to pick them up, all of your beautiful juice that you work so hard for is going to come flowing out. All right? I'm just going to set this on a cookie sheet just like so. That one's not ready, so I'm not going to take it out yet. How do you know if they're ready? Well, like I said, don't worry about them being done on the inside. We just want that crust. But it's just about ready, okay? And then all of this goodness, these little brown bits at the bottom, all of that is flavor. We're going to use that for our gravy. We're not going to use all of this oil, but we are going to use some of that oil for our gravy. Okay? This steak is just about done. Go ahead and take it on out. I'm going to pour some of this oil out. I'll be right back, and let's get started with our gravy. Okay, I've poured out some oil, and the oil that I have there is going to be used for gravy. We have our steaks just sitting. Don't cut them. Don't do anything with them. All right, here's what we're going to do. When you're making a gravy, you always want to have equal parts fat, which is our oil or your butter. Equal parts flour. It's going to make a roux, and then you pour your liquid in, stirring vigorously, and you have gravy. Voila. I'm going to show you. So, how do you know if it's equal parts? Well, honestly, you just kind of have to, guesstimate. Okay, really you do. You just want to guesstimate between the oil and the flour to whether you have equal parts or enough. What you're going to look for is you're looking for this to turn into somewhat of a little looser peanut butter consistency. Okay, and what you want to do is you want to cook the flour taste out. You want to cook that raw flour taste out of the gravy. So you do this for a few minutes. It doesn't have to be for a long time. Really, 5 minutes is good enough, okay? But like I said, definitely cook that flour taste out. And you can see, can you see that? It's just like I said, like a peanut butter consistency, okay? You want to use hot water. You don't want to use cold water, okay? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this cold water right here and make it hot, because that's the water that we're going to use for our gravy. Okay? And when you stir in your water, you want to use a whisk, and you want to stir vigorously. Okay? And stirring vigorously is going to help you not to have a lumpy gravy. Okay? Just keep doing this for maybe 2 more minutes, and sometimes this will get much darker, which is just fine. Okay? If you were to make a gumbo, you would do this procedure right here until this turns to a really dark color, a dark, dark, dark brown color. Okay? All that's flavor that we've picked up from the steak seasonings, the oil that's in the pan. Okay, this is cooked long enough so the flour taste is gone. Now I'm going to grab my whisk, and we're going to get started making some gravy. All right, this is on a number 2, which is a low heat right now. All right, low heat is what you're going to need when you're starting this out. I hope that you all can see. Let's see, I'm left-handed. I have to pour this with my left hand. Watch this. Watch the process. Stir vigorously. It's going to get thick on you, but never worry, because you're going to continue to pour and stir until you see the consistency of gravy and you're happy with the consistency. Okay? Since I know how much I'm pouring in, I'm going to put that down, and I'm just going to stir. And then if I feel like I need a little bit more water, which I do, then I'll pour some more in. But I like to stir with my left hand. Okay? Just like this, in this manner. And you can see that it needs more, so put you some more in. Don't freak out, guys. Don't freak out. Something this simple is really easy. Really it is. Okay? Now we have gravy. We have pan gravy from the drippings of our New York strip steaks. We have no lumps because we're going to whisk all of the lumps out of there. We're going to season this with garlic powder, a little bit of parsley, and by the way, we're going to put those onions in there. See that gravy? My goodness. Ooh, you see it. All right, in with our beef bouillon. That's all we're going to need. That's a teaspoon. It goes a long way. Trust me, guys. Trust me. And it tastes good too. My goodness, it tastes good. See that beautiful color? Oh yeah. And here's the thing, you taste it. And if you're happy with the taste, then you don't need any more. If you want a little bit more, put some more in. Okay? So I'm gonna put garlic powder in. Anytime I make a gravy, I put garlic powder in. You have to. We're gonna put those onions in there. If you wanted to saute the onions before, like ahead of time, you can. But it's really not going to make a difference. Either way it goes, those onions are going to cook up nice and beautifully. Okay? Get those onions in there, and those onions are going to give you a beautiful flavor in your gravy. Okay? Woo-wee. All right? Needs to be thinned out some. And you do it the same way. If you feel like it's too thick, then you keep thinning it out and you stir it. You check your consistency. If you're happy, keep it. If not, pour more liquid. Okay? You always want to start off with a little bit of liquid at a time, because putting too much in, you can never take away. But if you start out little by little, you'll wind up with the consistency that you're looking for. And that right there is what I call a beautiful pan gravy. Woo-wee. I'm going to taste it, okay? Oh, you talk, Woo, you're talking good. Man, that's good. Put you some cracked black pepper in there. I'm going to turn my gravy on low. Get you a nice amount in there. A little bit of Montreal seasoning, the same seasoning we use for our steaks. Put it in your gravy. Oh yeah. And I want to put some parsley in there because it's going to make everything beautiful. Not too much. Don't get crazy with it. All right. This right here is a gravy you will not be able to forget. Woo! And then, not to forget, our beautiful kitchen bouquet. Like I explained, kitchen bouquet does not have flavor, but it is going to give you a beautiful color. All right? A little is all you need. You don't need too much, okay? Like when I make my smothered pork chops, I'll leave my gravy that color. But I feel like if you're having smothered steaks, you want the gravy to be a little bit darker, just like this. Woo-wee. You can put this gravy on top of some mashed potatoes and fried chicken. You hear me? Woo! You better make you some. My mouth is watering. I don't know if you all's mouth is watering. Let me know in the comment section below. I want to clean this mess up. I have a little bit of gravy on my stove, and I like to clean messes up, honestly, as I go. If you don't do that, you'll lose your mind in the kitchen. I like a nice, clean kitchen at all times. You know? You feel good. You feel good when your kitchen is nice and clean. And so, normally when I press the pause button, I'm cleaning up as I go. And it makes me feel better. I don't lose my mind. Okay? Beautiful. One more taste because I have to. I have to, guys. I just have to. Hoo-wee. Oh. You have to be kidding me. You mean that gravy is that good? Yes, the gravy is that good. Now, these onions will cook down. Look at this beautiful steak. Beautiful. Get down in there. Get down in there, baby. Get with those onions. Oh, yeah. And that's beautiful gravy. All of those flavors. And you all marry together and be happy. Any juices that came out of your steak, pour it right on there. It's lunchtime at the Young's house, and dinner is done. All you have to do is sit back, let these bad boys smother and simmer in this gravy. Don't put a lid on. Don't put foil on top or a lid. The reason why is because if you put a lid on, that'll cause condensation and it'll cause for your gravy to thin out too much. Your gravy will get watery from the steam. Okay, I'm gonna turn this on a number 3 where it's low, but it's not too low, okay? And we just want it to simmer away. And these steaks are gonna turn like butter. They're gonna be so tender just sitting down in that beautiful gravy, getting nice and tender and getting nice and flavorful. I'm gonna come back. And when I come back, I'm gonna let you know how long I decided to let our steaks simmer down in this gravy. And when I come back, we'll say a beautiful prayer over our meal. We're gonna give it a try, and I'm gonna let y'all know what this tastes like. Be back. Okay, everything's just simmering away. It's been 35 minutes, and I wanna let it simmer a little bit longer, okay? Because my onions aren't all the way done. Still simmering. I want to let it simmer for about 15 more minutes. Then we're going to dive in. Ooh, wait, look at this. It doesn't get any better than this. It doesn't get any better than this. Ooh, put this right on top of that fluffy bed of rice. Okay, everybody, let's go ahead and say a nice prayer over our beautiful smothered New York strip steaks. Look at that. Right on top of that beautiful, fluffy, flavored rice. Remember, we flavored the rice with the chicken bouillon. It has amazing flavor. Look at this. Simple. Very simple, and you can do this as well, and yours is going to turn out just like mine's. Lord, we thank you for this meal today. We thank you for all of your blessings and your love. We love you so much, Lord. We believe in you. We have faith in you, and we thank you for your mercy. Thank you for the roof over our head, the food that you feed us, and the love that you give us daily. Amen. Let's dig in. I cannot wait. Now, the setup here. Some of you are saying, what is the stuff that you have here? Well, this is just my next setup for my next video that I'm getting ready to do right after this video uploads. So it's going to take, what? I don't know, maybe 45 minutes for this video to upload, and then right away I'm going to start on my third video of the day. The time is 3:03, and I've got 2 videos done, working into my third one. Look at that. Let's give this a try and see how I did the onions. I don't like for my onions to be smushy. I still like to have them, you know, I still like to have them where they have some bite to them. Let's try this. You all can have the first bite. Let me know what you all think about this. Hoo-wee, this right here. Oh my word. Look at this. Got a piece of rice, couple pieces of rice on the steak there. Nicely smothered, tender New York strip steak. Dig in. Woo, that's good. It cuts like butter when you give it time. Oh, let me tell you how long I decided to smother this. For 1 hour and 10 minutes. Let's see who's barking and why. That's the babies. They're playing together. Prince and Polo, I was getting ready to show you them on camera, but they ran. They're in a completely different room right now. One more bite, guys. One more bite, and then I'm going to sit down. I'm going to enjoy this steak. Oh, it's so delicious. My goodness. Woo, that looks good. Look at that. Look at that steak. Beautiful. You see that? Let's try another piece, but only this piece. We have a piece of onion, and we have some nice rice on there. Y'all never had this before, you better make you some. Listen here, if y'all enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you click on the notification bell so you can be notified every time Gina Young uploads one of these awesome videos. Let your family and friends and let the world know what Gina Young is doing in this kitchen. And as always, God bless you all. Thank you all for watching. Good night. Look at this. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. One more bite. I can't get enough. It's so good. I wish that each and every one of you were here so you can taste this. My goodness, it's amazing.